Hi ladies, I want to talk to you today about breast health. Back in October, I did a 21-day breast health program that lives in my membership, and I was so grateful because I had a number of doctors that focus on breast health to join me, and they were part of the community call. So they would come out and they would share a whole bunch of stuff around breast health, as well as be there for the community members to ask questions. And I always learned so much when I collaborate with other people. And I just really wanted to share some amazing insights, as well as some stuff that we can talk about regarding fascia decompression. I know that whenever we're dealing with breasts, it can feel like a really scary topic because we are constantly impacted by toxins in the world. And really, it's this toxic world that is causing issues and challenges in through here. And especially because toxins are held in fat tissue and the breasts are primarily made up of fat. The reality is, as long as our tissue is spacious, it's healthy. If it's spacious, it has optimal flow. We want flow so blood, nutrients, oxygen can go into those cells. We also want lymphatic drainage to be optimal so we can take away the toxins that are impacting our health negatively. When we're talking about dense breasts, something that a lot of people don't really understand is it is a function of the alignment of the rib cage. So when we are properly positioned, the ribs, like a well-made deck, have space between. However, what happens over time as we compress and we collapse into the core of the body is the ribs lose the space between, and we're not symmetrical. So we don't just collapse in a linear fashion. We literally spiral down in one direction or another. This spiraling down creates a foundation of the rib cage that impacts what sits right on top, which is the breast tissue. So as that happens over time, the breast tissue starts to compress and twist and store toxins. So if you're noticing that your breasts, first of all, aren't symmetrical, this is why, because again, we don't compress linearly. We fall one direction or another. And if they're painful, it's because they're filled with adhesion and they're also trapping debris and toxins. So the goal is really that we create a rib cage that is balanced and symmetrical. And that's really the focus of what fascia decompression block therapy is all about. And it is a full body journey. But I do want to share a couple of things that you can do right away just to get really comfortable with your breasts and how they feel. For some reason, we've been led to believe even touching ourselves is not a positive thing to do, but I'm here to share the more you can become familiar with the texture of your tissue and then the changes that occur with conscious effort, the more empowered you become about your health. First of all, just take your palms and put pressure in, and just first of all, just notice, does one side hurt? Do they both hurt? Does one side feel dense? Do they both feel dense? Just become aware. The first thing you want to do is really just become aware of what this feels like. And then what I'm going to share with you to do every single day for 7 days is simple and yet profound. Pressure over time with breath creates melting of adhesion. So I would just take your left palm, place it on your left breast, and then you can take your right hand and you can apply a little bit more pressure. Sit here and hold. While you're doing this, focus on the exhale for a count of 6, the inhale for a count of 4. And we want the movement to come from the belly, not from the chest. So if you're holding here and you feel your ribs doing this, moving up and down as you're holding, let's see if we can bring the breath to the belly. So you can take that other hand for a moment and even just place it on your belly. And then when you inhale, feel the belly get nice and big. And then with the exhale, squeeze the belly small. So just notice, first of all, where that movement is coming from when you're breathing. And if it is up through here, see if you can bring it down to the belly. We have a ton of videos on our YouTube channel talking about proper diaphragmatic breathing that you can jump into if you're not sure about this process. So as you're here and you're holding, just take 3 to 5 minutes. I know it sounds like a lot of time. You can do this while you're distracting yourself with a TV show or doing something else, but just hold and just notice what comes up. The left side of the breast, this is something I learned in my program, which was just fascinating because, of course, we are a physical being, but we're also an emotional being, and our emotions impact our physical body. This left side, this left breast, if you're having any issues here, it will be connected to relationships with women, mothers, daughters, grandmothers, whomever it is. That's the feminine side. Similarly, the right side is connected to the male relationships in your life. So get really intentional. Notice how you feel. You can even just close your eyes and you can talk to your cells and just ask them, what do you have to share with me? And just see what comes up. Don't try to force anything and don't judge if you don't have anything come to the surface, but just become aware. And then when you're done the one side, do the same with the other side. Notice how it feels. Now, if you can do this on skin to skin, even better. You really want to get comfortable with touching your skin with your hand. And then again, we hold here. You might notice one side feels very different. You might even feel tissue temperature that's different under one side than another. If you're feeling areas that feel cold, that's an indication that you have adhesions in there. And this process will help melt them. If you do this every day for 7 days and you track the changes with your hands, you're going to start to feel the density decrease. You're going to start to feel the softening. You might even start to feel deeper pointed pressures and balls of tension as you start to melt the superficial tensions. And that's just part of the process because there's a whole bunch of twists and turns under the surface as we fall out over time. But the more you dive in, the more you bring to the surface and the more that you allow to leave the body. And when you're focusing on doing this in combination with proper diaphragmatic breathing, you are directing that blood and oxygen flow into that tissue. And when you make that exhale, the focus, that exhaling for that count of 6, you're really optimizing moving that negative energy, those toxins, that debris out of the body most effectively. So this is just a really simple thing that you can do every single day. Now you can even do it lying down. You can even use a prop if you feel uncomfortable using your hand. If you have a hardcover book or a rolled up towel or a block, you can just place that right onto the breast tissue as well. You can even lie down on something if that feels comfortable for you to do, on a bed or on a floor. But there's something magical about touching yourself with your own hands because again, as you start to feel the changes in sensation, you pick that up with the hands. And it is so incredibly empowering to know that with these simple conscious steps that you do on a daily basis, you're starting to feel the opening, you're starting to clean stuff out. And again, that's really what this is about. There's always going to be toxins in the world that we need to get rid of. So the more we can open up our lymphatics, the more we can connect to our breath, the healthier that we can be. And having a little bit of information with your hands will take you a long way. It is very empowering, and that's what we're here to do, is to share and help each other along this journey. If you're interested in hearing from others in our community that actually went through this program and learned so much, I encourage you to go to Block Therapy Community on Facebook. It is free for everybody to join, and it is a wonderful resource. So many of our members are always there to help support and guide you along the way.